Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new SH Figuarts ICHIGO KUROSAKI from Bleach, and we're gonna do a question of the day right away, because I only have just a very passing knowledge of Bleach. I've never watched the anime in its entirety. I watched the old stuff, and anyway, which look for Ichigo do you prefer? I definitely prefer the more toned down look with, I think it was like a red rope going around his chest, and then the big blade. I prefer the classic look, if that's that. Whatever that is, I like that. Let me know what you guys think. I'm guessing this is what he's wearing currently. I don't know. I don't have any idea what's going on in Bleach right now. So you can let me know about that if you want to. Anyway, so Bandai basically has seemingly taken the stance that they're just gonna dominate with all of the animes. All of them. Because they've been doing Dragon Ball, and that's fine, and that's wonderful, and they did do One Piece a while ago, but now they've got a new line. That's awesome. Then they did do Naruto a while ago. It wasn't great. But now they've got a really good Naruto line, and now we've got Bleach also. So they're just hitting all the check boxes. Is this one any good though? The other ones have all been pretty darn good. I mean, like I said, Dragon Ball's been continually up and down, but the rest of them have been awesome. Luffy, Naruto, all of them were pretty good. Is this guy? Well, I have good news and bad news. It does exist, that's the good news. The bad news is it's easily the worst of the bunch. You might still like it though, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, before we get into the figure, let's take a quick look at my package. I think it is the least interesting of all the packages. We just get the swoosh, nothing really going on. I do think Naruto and One Piece and Dragon Ball are winning the package market. That's unfortunate. But it's not terrible, it's just, It seems to be way more subdued, way more toned down. This is kind of nice, I like this side. And then the back is not bad, you have your standard artwork there. It's just, meh, I don't know, not loving it. Okay, let me know what you guys think. All right, here we go. Let's look at the figure. He stands roughly about 6 1/8 inches, including his hair. That's gonna be about a little shy of 16 centimeters. Here he is up against the Marvel Legends Darwin. So you could easily squish that into a 1/12 scale collection. I happen to have Luffy out, so here he is up against Luffy. And if you know he fits against Luffy, well enough anyway, you know he'll fit against Dragon Ball and the Naruto guys. So that's pretty good. Of course, having them all be able to fit together in a collection is the way to go. Now, as far as the aesthetic goes, it's not great off the bat. I think they could have done such a better job on the pants. That's why I want to focus on the pants first. I mean, I get the wrinkles that had to be there, but the way they did the cut at the hips and at the knees, it looks so segmented and goofy rather than the big flowy pants that he wears. I think this looks horrible. And now maybe once you pose it, it won't be as bad, and we'll get into the joints a little bit later, of course, but I don't think so. I don't think it's that much better, really. Kind of rough. On the chest, it's okay. The paintwork is clean enough. Nothing crazy there, but could be a lot better. On the arms, it's okay, but along the coat edges, let's see if I can focus on that, it's kind of sloppy. The black is not where it's supposed to be. At a distance, you won't notice it, but up close, it is pretty rough looking. Not terrible, but it's not especially good. And now let's go ahead and talk about the face. I think the sculpt for the face is okay. He does have like a longer face, so that's fine, but the eyes are too high up. The eyes need to come down like a millimeter, and that would make it look way better if you ask me. I think the sculpt for the hair is nice. So like, it's not bad overall. Well, I say the pants are bad, but the rest is okay. But it's not exactly impressive. It's not great looking. And I think up against something like this, it looks cheap as heck. Those pants look terrible. The pants throw it off so much. The joints are just really bad. So aesthetically speaking, and this thing's like 65, 70 bucks, something like that. I don't think they're even near looking good enough for that price point. Oh, also the feet. They're okay. They're not great. You can see a lot of white where there should be black because of the joint there. Not really much finesse went into this figure at all, which is unfortunate for Bleach fans because there's not a huge selection of Bleach action figures out there, so that's a little bit weird. Okay, so aesthetically speaking, this guy's gonna get a 5 out of 10. It does not look good on a shelf. Those pants just look terrible. Goodness. And I even went back and checked. I looked up online the anime, the current, whatever, whenever he looks like this, whatever that's called. I think that's the name on the box, maybe. These pants don't look goofy in the anime, they look fine, so it's definitely just the figure, so disappointing. Alright, as far as accessories go, you get the 2 fist hands that come on in the package, then you get 2 gripping hands and a couple of style pose hands. Nothing incredible there, but that's all you really need. You do get his giant sword, which is nicely done. Love the handle, the little metal chain on there is nice, no problems there. And you get a good spread of faces. You get the neutral face that comes on him in the package, then you get a stern one, then you get a different, angrier, stern one, then you get like a startled one, and then you get an angry one. And the detail work is incredible. They look wonderful. I do think the eyes are too high up on the faceplate, though. I think they should be a little bit below the brow, where they are is just too high. So they look really good, but also slightly off. You guys can let me know what you think about that if you're more familiar with the anime. But I checked, and this doesn't look quite right to me. Anyway, accessory-wise, 8 out of 10, pretty good. Like a slash effect might be nice. I think that'd be pretty good. Okay, now as far as articulation, this is unfortunately where things go downhill. Oh man, it's really unfortunate. I'm sorry, Bleach people. Naruto got a major upgrade in these new figures. One Piece also, and then Bleach is just like not. So I'll show you the neck joint. You guys have seen my reviews enough if you've been around to know what I'm about to say. Double ball peg good. Range is gonna be next to non-existent. There's no place for the joint to go. Even if the hair wasn't in the way, there's almost no place for this joint to move. You can wiggle it a little bit side to side, but there's nowhere for it to move. Let's put the face back on and I'll show you. Not only does the face get sucked right into the neck, like there's no, there is literally some, but there's almost no gap between the neck and the chin. He can't really move his head on top of the neck. He definitely can't lean back, and leaning forward is almost nothing. So it's very limited. Leaning to the side, very limited. Now you do have the joint in the neck itself, which has a lot of range, but his robe comes up pretty high, so even then he can't lean back. That's as far back as his head can go, and it looks like he's trying to tuck his chin into his neck, so that's no good, and it gets gappy down here. It can lean forward, but it is at such a weird angle, I don't know why you would ever want to do that, and then side to side is minimal, so his neck is terrible. It looks almost all the time like he's tucking his chin in. Very unfortunate. That's going to be like a standard hero pose only due to that neck. That's really, really unfortunate. For the shoulders, we have that ball peg for the butterfly joint that lets it move side to side and up and down, so that's pretty nice. Ball peg on the shoulder lets it obviously rotate around and move around a little bit in there. Full range in the shoulder, no problem there. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow is fine. Little ball hinges at the wrist. Minimal range, but that's all fine too. For the torso joint, feels like it's just a ball peg. Paintwork is not so clean down here. You can see these little white bits on the side. They don't look great. It does lean back okay. Leans forward a little bit. Then you do get more range at the lower torso, forward and back. But that's as far forward as he can lean. Let me zoom out a little bit. That's it. Not using the hips. And not using the hips leaning back, it is a little bit better. So that's okay. Then going side to side, it's okay. Of course, you get your rotation at both spots. So the hips on this guy, they do kick forward far enough. That's fine. Better, slightly better than horizontal. They do go back a little bit, but he has butt cheeks, so they can't go back too far, so that's pretty limited. Then going out to the side, we can go pretty far, almost full on splits, so that's okay. So the hip range is decent, that's not a problem. You do get your thigh swivel right here, which is just hideous. Why did they do that? That might be uglier than Trunks. That is so bad. Oh goodness, you do get your thigh swivel. Okay, and then the knee. What is this? So ugly. 90 degrees, just better than 90 degrees. It's not a good looking knee joint. It's not the worst ever if you don't look at it directly, but it's pretty bad. It looks like what are they called? The Bandai America figures. Anime Heroes. It looks like one of those. That's a pretty ugly knee joint. Now for the ankles, you do get to rotate the leg. I think the leg rotate, doesn't it? Nope. Okay, you can't rotate the leg. I lied. But you do get a full-on ball hinge. You can bring the foot pretty far back and pretty far forward, and because of the way his pants are, it's okay. You get a full-on ankle rocker there, so that's good. And then the toe hinge is not especially good. They did it the bad way, where you get a little tab that sticks out right here, and then this is not good. This should be rounded. It shouldn't be squared off. So it's a bad toe hinge. It's not super loose, but it's not a good toe hinge. So this figure is very, very lazy, I would say, because we know Bandai can do better. This figure doesn't have much going on in the way of good stuff, really, at all. That's pretty bad. Articulation's gonna get a 4, 5. I'll do 5 out of 10, but you can't pose his head well. Torso's pretty limited. The knees are hideous. The legs, all the leg joints are hideous. They work, but they're hideous. Yeah, this guy, I'm sorry, Bleach people. Unless you're a hardcore Bleach fan, this is not gonna get you going. This is pretty disappointing. I mean, I'm glad to have a Bleach figure in my collection, an ICHIGO figure, but that's not enough for 65, 70 bucks. It better actually be good, and it's not. So I'm gonna give this guy an overall rating of, yeah, 5 out of 10. It's passable if you pose it and don't look at it too close, but really for the price point, it is by far the least good of all of the anime figures from SH Figuarts at this point. It's really not good. Let me know what you guys think though in the comment section below. I'm curious if all of you, if there's any hardcore Bleach people that are like, I don't care, it's so good. Or maybe you're like, I'm a hardcore Bleach fan, it's not even close to good enough, you know? Sometimes it goes either way. So curious what you guys think, so let's talk about it in the comment section below. But if you liked the video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider it. I have new videos every single day but Wednesday, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.